Yes.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this episode where actually I'm going to talk about 21st century teaching skills that engages students. Actually, when I'm talking of 21st century teaching that engages students, I'm talking of project-based learning. My name is Mwakilasa. My contact information is there and my phone number. Right, before I talk about the need analysis, I would like to ask you one question. What do you do when you find your students actually are bored during a lesson? This is happening these days, especially with these digital students, whereby you are doing something and the students are already, they've lost engagement with what you are doing. Why is this so? It's because when you are teaching them, you are actually boring them. They don't want people who do things for them. They want to get involved. So, for me to come up with this, I did a needs analysis survey. In this survey, I did ask the students and teachers for it. In this survey, what I discovered is 85%, when I went for observation, 85% of the students are not engaged when the teachers are teaching. This is so especially in Africa, where the classes are large classes of 80 to 90 students. So you find actually you end up having only 5 to 10 students who are listening or who are following what the teacher is saying. But when I went to do the focus group survey again, I discovered that actually about 20% of the students are only those are the students that are engaged when the teacher is in class. And this came to an idea of me coming up with a solution. And this solution is the training proposal that I'm asking. If you may ask, if the 21st century teaching that engages students actually is the project-based learning. In this project-based learning, students actually will be participating hands-on activities, which means all the times they're engaged with what they are supposed to be doing. Then, there are a lot of benefits that actually the management and the teachers plus our students are going to get if we embark on this style of teaching. Teachers will get familiarity with the concept of project-based teaching. Teachers will identify which 21st centuries they want their students to develop. Teachers will use the language authentically, and students also use the language authentically. Teachers will facilitate learning as students will be leading in their own learning through hands-on activities. Students will develop all 21st century skills that we need these days. Right, to make you understand what I'm trying to talk about, I'll give you the training outline. In this training outline, we have activities and objectives. The activities that actually we have, these are the activities for the participants who come for the training, right? They will have to read and watch small videos on project-based classes. They will work in groups, in small groups, to do some mini projects. They will present their work, and they will give peer assessment. And the project they're going to do is actually, they're going to make some lesson plans for the project-based. Objectives is, by the end of the training, participants should understand the concept of project-based learning, and participants will identify 21st century skills that they can use in their classes, and they will be able to prepare a lesson plan on project-based. Why I came up with this, you can actually see here, this is a Chinese proverb that tells, tell me and I'll forget. Show me, I may remember. Involve me, I will understand. So what we need for our students is to understand. So for us, the way forward is 21st century skills that actually engage the students in learning. This, when we go about it, there's supporting evidence that shows that this is very important for our students today, right? I have information from Access Teachers that actually we have been using this idea when it was, this method, sorry, when it was first brought to Tanzania. I spoke to Benjamin Kiona, a Kondo Secondary School teacher who has been doing access classes since 2020. This is what actually he has to say, as you can read there. Since we started using this method, access class students have gained more knowledge and have improved academically, right? So which means it has led to the improvements in academic. And I also spoke to Oliver from Mwanza. Oliver is also an access teacher in Mwanza. This method is like, I've become a facilitator of learning. I no longer teach. Students are highly engaged and self-motivated. That was Oliver, right? There is also supporting evidence that shows that really this style of teaching or this method of teaching is very important to us. Because we can see that from those access classes that I've just told you, the results that actually we came up were so amazing. 90% of the access students actually have gone to A-level and others have gone to colleges. And the same thing in Mwanza, is so same thing in Dar es Salaam, where from Kondo Secondary School where Leona is. So you can see that these students gained their confidence, gained their academic performance actually increased because of the method that they were using in their access classes. So I think now it is the right time we employ that, or we deploy that into normal classes, whereby students will be the leaders of their own learning. I may now come to the logistics. You may be asking oneself, who's going to do that? Where are we going to do that? And everything else. So the participants of this first training are going to be English teachers from 30 secondary schools around this district. Was we want each teacher to go and cascade the knowledge to other teachers in their schools. So if we get the 30 secondary schools around here, then we'll be sure that it's a good sampling that we will start with. And then we are planning this training to be on the 4th of November this year from 8:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon. And it's going to be at the Dodoma Secondary School in the social hall of the Dodoma Secondary School. All we need is projectors, laptop, flip charts, markers, notebooks, pens, and printing papers, right? Others may be thinking that actually, why we are not talking of the whole day being used for that training. It's because we want to make sure that when teachers come there, they get involved from the beginning up to the end of the project. And the budget that we expect we are earmarking is about $150, which is enough to run the project, which means the participants will have breakfast and lunch, but where they will have all the other things that I've just mentioned previously. Assessment and evaluation that we're going to use, participants will display their work, right? And then participants will read and present their work. Then there will be peer feedback from their peers, and the training outcomes will come from the survey that will give, and everybody will give their feedback. That way, we'll start getting the evaluation that is going to be goal-oriented from the goals that actually everybody sets at the beginning of the lesson. In conclusion, I would say teachers will become facilitators of learning and building the 21st century skills. Students will be engaged and own their own learning. Both teachers and students will develop critical thinking, then they become critical thinkers. Students will develop problem-solving abilities. And from the picture that I put there is from a training that we had in Kigali about project-based learning. We were led by Tabitha Kidio from ES, right? He's an English specialist. And you can see 10% people will remember what they hear, and 20% they'll remember what they read. But if they see and do, they'll definitely have it. So we want our students to have all that. Asante sana kwa kuja. Thank you very much for being here. We are moving away from transmission-based, whereby a teacher is the source of information and putting things in their students' head. We want to move to constructive, right, method of teaching. it's my hope that actually you will allow me to train these teachers so that actually we improve the grades in our district. Thank you very much.